Hello, everyone. Welcome to another session of Canvas Live. Canvas Live sessions are presented by the Canvas community members or instructor employees to help Canvas users improve and enhance their teaching and learning with Canvas. Today, we're especially excited to join forces with CanvasCon in presenting an extended agenda from the conference. And with us today, we have Glenn Gummis, and he is here from the University of St. Francis. Glenn, we're happy to have you this morning. Go ahead, and we're ready to hear what you have to say. We're excited. Welcome.
Well, thank you very much. It's good to be here. The title of this, as you can see, is ARC Video Trials and Challenges at a Small Midwest College. I'm Glenn Gummis, and I am an instructional designer at USF in Illinois, working in the Office of Academic Technology. We support all things Canvas here at USF, mostly support for teachers in the design of their courses and in training them for the art of online learning and teaching, and also to support students. In fact, they're both equal priorities for us to make sure that the students and the faculty are happy. As for myself, I have a 28-year background in higher education now, starting out as a audiovisual coordinator for a community college in Hobbs, New Mexico. Moved on from there to get a master's degree in educational technology leadership from the George Washington University. And I have been with USF for the last 18 years, and I've seen us grow and evolve. We've been a Canvas school now for, I guess, almost half a dozen years now. It's hard to say. But anyway, moving on. Here's where we are. Here is what we look at. Here's what we look like, I guess. If you've been to Washington, D.C. and seen Georgetown, this kind of reminds me of Georgetown University. I don't know if we're in that kind of a league, but our university is comprised of 3,900 students, both full-time and part-time, with a FTE of 2,700. We have 1,700 students attending classes on campus, but 2,200 of our students are off campus, including a whole bunch online via Canvas. All courses, regardless of whether they're online or face-to-face, have a Canvas presence for online or blended, or sometimes they're not used at all. Demographically, you can see how we break out. And religiously, since we are a Catholic institution, that information could be relevant as well. Well, it probably is relevant. Here is ARC video in its full-blown glory. It's a screencast captured from an actual conversation in a course in which the professor has shared a YouTube video through ARC Video. And as you can see, students and teachers have the ability to enter discussion points at any part along the timeline, which was a big selling point for us here at USF when we were introduced to this platform almost 2 years ago. It is great for assessing student performance. A student can post a video of speech or some sort of a clinical activity, and the instructor can go in and make point-by-point comments along the timeline of to either reinforce or remediate. I teach video production courses here at USF, and I use it to critique my students' abilities in such things as video editing. And I feel like it's been very, very successful. It's great for sharing for collaboration purposes. Another selling point for ARC is that while Canvas has a native capability of uploading 500 megabytes of video at any one time, ARC Video possesses the ability to upload videos as large as 10 gigabytes. And that will be that'll be important as this presentation rolls along. So, we began piloting ARC Video in the spring of 2016. That date is incorrect. It's 2016. In courses such as nursing physical assessment, speech communications, the history of World War II, in which the instructor posted lectures enhanced with visuals that the students could comment upon, computer basics, and video editing. And so in 4 of those courses, the students' assessments are such things as, well, a nursing physical assessment, the student would have to show a demonstration in real time of them examining a patient from head to toe. Obviously, I cannot show you those videos. There's privacy, as you can well discern, is extremely important in these. And in speech communications, the students have their speeches evaluated. In computer basics, they may be uploading a screencast of them working on a piece of software that the instructor will critique with the commenting feature in ARC Video. And in video editing, well, I mentioned video editing. We began a full-on rollout in 2016 with an announcement at CanvasCon at Northwestern University in Chicago that they were going live with it in October of 2016. So, no holds barred, rollout of ARC. Let's talk a little bit about what we've done at Academic Technology to support it. For instructors, we created screencasts of how to use ARC using Camtasia, which is the interface that you're seeing. And for students, the same thing. We presented screencasts and other types of scaffolds and mounted them up partly in Canvas Commons so that we could pull these resources into each course that we knew was using ARC Video. Let's talk a little bit about the effectiveness of ARC, because it has been I think, very effective in several ways. And I think this speaks well to a lot of things that ARC is supposed to provide. The question that became part of a survey was, what was the effect of 3 features of ARC Video? Uploading the video, sharing the video, the instructor's comments. What was the effect of those on the benefits of learning? And so we rolled out a survey with 3 main Likert questions of agreement using a 5-point scale, strongly disagree to strongly agree, in which we asked those questions. The feedback from the instructor, the ability to comment and dialogue, the ability to upload and share. Were those beneficial to the learning experience? We also wanted to know such things as, were our instructions for uploading a video helpful? Did they have simply the ability to view feedback and the judgment on the overall experience? But it's those 3 critical areas that I want to consider for this presentation. For the most part, we got a big thumbs up all across the board. However, the thumbs downs we received were vocal. And I'm going to concentrate on that a little bit more as this presentation proceeds. The main thing about what you're seeing here is that the mean of agreement was 3.79, leaning toward agreement. Yes, all those things that I mentioned, the ability to comment, the ability to upload, the ability to receive feedback, were all tended toward agreeing that yes, it was all beneficial to learning. The mode, which is the second highest number, the second largest number there, 4, is something I'll go back to a little bit. The most frequent response we got was a 4. I did an analysis of the results of those 3 questions with SPSS to examine the spreads of central tendency. And for those of you who are into statistics, the questions were considered internally consistent for reliability at an 80% level. So it could be said with some measure of confidence that, yeah, these questions did measure the effects of these features on ARC Video on the learning experience. All good. A histogram shows that that it kind of leans negatively. But notice the tall bars that you see. That represents the mode, which is the most responses we got said that they agreed that the features in Canvas helped the learning experience. And there were also quite a few strong agreements as well. But notice these outliers, which the ones that are off to the left. What happened with those? Why did these pull down the mean as much as they did? That's what I want to focus upon for much of this presentation. Because in the open-ended remarks that we received, here's one that's great. I understand the importance of demonstrating the learning process. Exactly what ARC was intended for, forcing one to delve deeply and understand the material. But this quote came from one who strongly disagreed that ARC Video benefited the learning experience because of technical issues. The computer crashing, then switching to an iPhone and experiencing a 10-hour long upload process. Another respondent to the survey said that it was a terrible experience. Even one who agreed that ARC was beneficial to learning said there were times when ARC took too long to load. One issue that faced us in the implementation of ARC Video in the spring semester is that the user interface changed at least once. You're looking at a video here which shows the progress of a video being uploaded, and all of that is fine, well, and good, but that changed, and eventually it started presenting anomalies such as the one you're looking at right now. Learner would upload a video of any particular length, sometimes it was a rather large video, and would get this phenomenon where you see 3 flashing dots and then nothing taking place. I called this the 3 blind dots effect. And as you can see, it left a lot of users pulling their hair out. It did get better. The current interface shows more consistently the window where the video is supposed to be uploaded and a progress bar. You would get 3 blind dots, and then what seemed to me very, very useful as well was a wheel showing the processing time it took for the video to be ready. And eventually the video was ready. You could choose this. The words choose this are very, very obvious, and then submit the video to the assignment, which was a big issue in us favoring ARC Video because of the fact that students could submit their video directly to an assignment. It would go into the Canvas speed grader, and that was cool. It was really, really cool and seamless. At least that's what it was supposed to be, where instructors could then enter their feedback, the students would see it, and learning would move forward. The bigger issue, other than the ARC interface changing as it did from time to time, was size. Because the initial students' instructions that we gave kind of emphasized shooting video with camcorders, and what we found were more and more users were using smartphones and tablets. Well, as you may be aware, smartphones tend to shoot video in high definition capacity. And unless you have a fast internet connection, it takes an excruciating amount of time to upload high-definition video of any significant length to anything, not just ARC Video, but to YouTube or whatever you've got. Users' connections varied. It was not an even map out there. And it's just not enough to tell users that high bandwidth is what you have to have. High bandwidth comes in many, many different shapes and sizes. And some users, perhaps more than a few, just don't have prior knowledge or understanding of what it means to have a LAN connection or a cable connection, or if you throw such terms out at them as digital subscriber line DSL or asymmetric DSL, or talk about pixels, megabits per second, HD, they don't get it. Many of them don't get it. The few who didn't get it definitely were the outliers in that histogram I showed you a little bit earlier. So we tried to educate users about sizes. We rolled out some information. This is what it means as far as video size is concerned. We talked about standard definition. We talked about 720p high definition. We talked about 1080i, and this was the response that I felt, that I perceived. Much of this in empirical observation, granted, in telephone calls with people, sort of a scratching of the head effect. Mega what? Giga what? We even promoted, Canvas promoted, ARC Video promoted, Handbrake to compress videos. Handbrake is a great tool. You can put a video of any size in a Handbrake, and it's really, really fast in compressing the video down to a size that's manageable over small bandwidths. But take a look at this interface. If you are someone who is technologically challenged and you see an interface like this, what are you going to do? What are you going to do with something like that? So in our evolving supports for students, we tried a non-technical approach. I put together a PowerPoint which would say, imagine your video as a 1,000-gallon tank. consisting of 8,000 bytes, which is, by the way, the ratio of megabytes to megabits. Now attach a spigot to this, and imagine a hose going up into the cloud, the internet. I think students could get the idea of the cloud. And imagine that the flow of that water was moving at a rate of 1 pint per second. Well, as you can figure out, if you do the math, it would take 8,000 seconds, or well over 2 hours, for that water tank, that video, to make it over the web. If you have a fast connection of, let's say, 100 pints per second, it would take only 80 seconds. Now, keep in mind that some people are going to have, from their iPhone, they're going to have upload speeds of only about 2 megabits per second, just 2. So it's going to take a long time for that 8,000 or that 1,000 megabyte video to go up to the web. But at least we tried to explain these sizes in terms they would understand. We also threw at them a way for them to test their upload speed. Now, this looks complicated. It's from a site called speedof.me. And what I really like about this is the computer interface. It will take a sample of a video from your computer and analyze it, and it will show you, let me go back one frame, it will show you your download speed and your upload speed. Now, this is from my computer at work, and I have an upload speed of almost 50 megabits per second. Users at home, though, who have an asymmetrical DSL line are going to experience just a fraction of that, maybe 8 megabytes per second or something like that. But at least they would know their rate. They would know their rate, which would lead us into the next discussion. What if? What if you could take a magic wand and reduce that 1,000-gallon tank of water to just 100 gallons and 800 pints? Now you have something manageable that you could upload. That conversation led us into compression solutions a little bit more easily, where we could introduce handbrakes gently, in a gentle sort of way, with very simplified instructions, what they would need to know if they used handbrake to upload the video. And so in the process of explaining all this, we would address the question why they need to do this. Why do they need to take a 10-minute video that's on their iPhone, which is the length of, let's say, a health assessment, and then crunch that down to a size that would make it from their home connection, whatever that was. Meanwhile, we discovered this was something that occurred during the spring semester, that it was possible to upload a video directly to the ARC Media Library straight from the smartphone. This eliminated a bunch of hoops for the students to have to jump through. And first, this feature rolled out for Android users. After we squeaked a little bit, you see a squeaky wheel, it became available for iPhone users as well. Students could now upload videos directly from their directly from their smartphone to the ARC Media Library. This took out a middle step, and instead you could go directly from your smartphone to upload to ARC, even though over some connections you still had to do one more thing, one more middle step, and that's find a way to compress the video while it's still on the smartphone. We found an app. I searched around at the App Store on my iPhone, and I found a little thing called Video Compress. It lives right there. Let me back up a little bit and show you how this works. And this is also available for Android phones as well. And how this works is, this is Video Compress in action. You can select a video, such as this one, and after you've selected it, it will throw you an ad. The free version does have an ad. And then you can adjust the size of it, as I am showing in this little screencast here. What if this were a 1 gigabyte video? You could crush it down to maybe 100 megabytes or 200. It'll show you its processing progress and success. And then you can save that video, all of this on your smartphone, all of this on your iPhone. So let's move forward and then upload directly to ARC. And let me show you what that would look like from this experience. In uploading directly to ARC, and bear with me, this is going to be about a 3-minute video. I would scroll down to find the course. In this case, I'm going to use a Canvas sandbox. Go to the ARC Media Library. The text on the right I'll explain in just a moment. And I would browse for my files from the photo library, choose the video. And the video is the one down on the bottom. It's the second one. Let me go back and show you that again because this moved a little bit too fast. So I'm at the point where I am selecting that video. So let's move forward from there. So I've selected the video now, and it's uploading, and I get the 3 blind dots effect. That's not what I wanted. This I recorded just this morning. Now keep in mind, I'm trying to upload directly to ARC Video from my smartphone. During the spring semester, users were able to do this. This morning, though, I had to abort the process. So I tried it again, and this time from Browse Files, I went to the iCloud drive, where I also put the video. I'm looking at my iCloud drive right now. There's the video. It's an MP4. It's 105 megabytes. I select it. And now I'm starting to get some progress. Now I'm starting to see that progress bar. This is what's supposed to happen. This is what did happen during the spring semester. 3 blind dots. And you got to wait a little bit. It requires a little bit of patience. But you know what? The user doesn't know that he's got to require that much patience. So the 3 blind dots continue. It will get there. It takes time. I can almost hear Orson Welles. Ah, there you go. And there's you see the circular progress bar, again for a 100 megabyte video, and it becomes available. The long and short of this is that there are still some issues with the stability of ARC. We faced them this morning. What you're seeing is a result that I shared with Canvas, and the Canvas problem solvers, I did a Canvas problem report, and they confirmed that this was taking place on their end too. So it's supposed to work. It does work. Sometimes it doesn't. You can see that there are some stability issues apparently with using ARC Video right now. So on the faculty side, things were going along swimmingly. Faculty were happily grading their video student submissions. And I think I'll move fast through some of this so that you can see that they still had some hoops to jump through for students, for instructors who recorded videos of speeches. Instructors had to find different ways to get that video to students, and it wasn't easy until we discovered later on that the instructor could share the video with students directly in ARC. Let me show you how that works. This is worth seeing. So here's the instructor selecting a video, selecting people, typing the name of a student in the class, and then choosing update. So what I'm suggesting here is that if instructors are shooting the video, they can't just share it through their students unless they're able to use ARC Video to do that. They would share the video with students in ARC Video, and then they would let the students know that the video is there. This is when instructors shoot the video. Whereas in the other way, in the other method, when students submit the video, it can go directly into the speed grader. So that was a discovery that we made. The takeaways from this experience were that I think in terms of providing support to students and instructors, it's helpful to consider them at the lowest common denominator. I think it's important to keep the ARC Video product stable. I think it would help to stick with a consistent user interface and to continue creating simple instructions in scaffolds and to make them more obvious and visible, and to do some simple research on effectiveness. I would ask, and this is for those of you who provide support to students and support to instructors, does a simple non-technical approach lead the user to attain a successful result? Thinking back to the water tank episode, and does explaining why an approach is better influence the attainment of a successful result. So I guess the long and short of this, as I wrap this up, is that, yeah, ARC Video is a great product, but unsupported, it can be a frustrating experience for users who just don't understand that what they shoot on their smartphones or on their cameras just can't be uploaded into ARC from any old connection. It needs to be processed. That processing and explaining why they have to do that has been a major issue with us in the spring semester of 2017. And I think we got a good handle on it. I think it got better. There's more work to be done. And as you can see, by the end of the semester, after we did that survey, we found that ARC is a wonderful product, really, which does produce some substantial learning benefits. And so with that, I'll take some questions, comments, whatever you would like to talk about.
Thank you, Glenn. That was great. Right now, we don't have any questions coming in, but if you do have any additional questions, please feel free to post them to Glenn in the event page of this session, and we'll make sure we get those answered. Thank you so much for your presentation, Glenn. We really appreciate your being part of the CanvasCon Extended Agenda experience. And we hope to see everybody in a future session of Canvas Live or in part of the CanvasCon series. Have a wonderful Friday. Thank you so much, Glenn.
Thank you. Take care now.